Hey review family, keep it high, keep it tight. My name is DreamWorks Review Guy, and I'm back again to bring you another video. And in this one, I'm going to be doing an album review for The Outer Ones by Revocation. American death metal quartet Revocation returns with their 7th studio-length album. They were formed in 2000, and this is Metal Blade Records. That's what the label was that this album came off of. It's a 9-track affair, over 40 minutes. I believe it's somewhere around like the 48-minute mark if I remember correctly, and boy is this a ride. So if you are unfamiliar with Revocation, they are a technical death metal band that borderlines on thrash metal a lot. And here's the thing about that. There's a lot of bands that kind of do this. I don't think that Revocation is necessarily like the first premier band to do this thing where you take a really heavy or technical type of death metal playing style and mix it with basically thrash metal. A lot of just thrashy, fast, speedy, powerful type of riffs, fast drums, and when you mix the two, they complement each other more than you'd necessarily think, because a lot of times thrash metal is more radio friendly, it's a little bit more tame than some of the more heavier death metal, but when you put them together and try to blend the two genres together, you usually will get pretty good results. Now, that's not to say that this album doesn't necessarily have its pitfalls, because it does. I feel like a lot of times it can get a bit monotonous with these long song lengths of having kind of a pattern. You're going to notice while you're listening to this album that there really is a technical death metal type of a pattern to this, and this is something I've mentioned countless times on the channel of how technical death metal bands will have a habit of going into that just very kind of predictable feeling. And I kind of want to use that word loosely, because that's the whole thing the genre is built around, is having technical prowess and being able to really do well with the instrumentation. So I don't necessarily want to use the word predictable. I just don't know really what else to use for that, because I feel like technical death metal really does have the stigma of being a bit predictable, being a bit monotonous nowadays, because there's been so many bands that have tried to use that style in the past that it got a little washed out. I'm talking other genres as well, such as melodic death metal, where like bands like In Flames and Amon Amarth were really big, and then a lot of bands tried to really become them. And there are some technical death metal bands that are still standing above and beyond due to specific reasons. One of the ones that come to my mind would be like Rings of Saturn, and Revocation would be another one, because this is a tasteful technical death metal album. The vocals are really just, they're what you would expect. They're not going to blow you away, but they're there in such a way to kind of complement the music that is being played alongside it. I don't think that it's to the point to where it's like undeniably bad or whatever. But through these 9 tracks, I feel like you are going to notice a pattern, and there could potentially be passages, now this is just my opinion, where you might get some moments where you're like, haven't I kind of heard something like this? Sometimes guitar solos, while they are very flashy, and while they are very just in your face, pummeling, they do feel a bit run down a lot of times in terms of when you have them on so many tracks, and they come through, and they're just trying to be heavy, and they are heavy, but you're getting them for like quite a few of these tracks where you'll get guitar solos, and it's just kind of like, I don't know, something about that just doesn't click as much as I feel like it maybe should. And for that, I have to say, maybe this is just a technical death metal band that's trying to play to the technical death metal strength. Maybe they're just trying to do what they can do best, and if that's the case, they made a good technical death metal album. I'm not doubting that at all. The 7th track on this album is an instrumental, and probably one of my favorite parts of the album. I think that it came together really good. They really do go the extra mile on taking their sound in new directions and really not trying to reinvent the wheel, but at the same time bringing in enough kind of flavor, enough spice, enough nuance to make it more interesting. So I gotta compliment them for that. In the first track, it's really nice. I believe it's called like the otherworldly beings, or from of unworldly origin. I wanted to look that up because I wanted to get that right, because I care about it. But anyways, that song was really nice too. It started off the album in a heavy note. I like heavy metal albums that aren't afraid to start albums with the gas pedal on. A lot feel like they gotta build up to it. They gotta do something flashy to kind of build it up, or they gotta have like atmosphere. I like atmosphere. I'm a prog fan. I like atmosphere, but at the same time, I feel like for an album like this, getting straight into the action really does work in its benefit, so I like that a lot. So overall, if you want to hear a technical death metal album or with a little bit of thrash influence, you'll probably like this album. And if you're a fan of Revocation, I don't see any reason why you're not going to like this. It's up on Metal Blade. I believe they uploaded the full album to YouTube. I listened to it on Spotify last night, so that's kind of cool. It uploaded at midnight. But anyways, guys, I'm going to give this album a 6 out of 10. It's definitely above average. It's not below average, but it's not necessarily blowing me away. But I want to hear what you guys think. So post in the comment section below. Go crazy with your thoughts. I would love to hear it. Did you like this album? Did you not? All that good stuff. And I'll talk to you guys next time. In the end screen, you can find my previous videos, and I will shout your channel out if you like and comment. I'll see you next time. Till then, my name is Jay Morris, Review Guy, and I'm signing off saying farewell.